Do you feel like overthinking has you by the throat sometimes? Do you ever go to bed worrying about something so you can't sleep? And then when you finally get some sleep, you wake up 5 minutes before your alarm goes off because all you can think about is this thing that is troubling you? Or maybe you're someone who suffers in the exact same way that I used to with a disease that I used to call the what if syndrome. That's not a real thing. I just called it the what if syndrome because it sounds like this. What if I don't hear my alarm? What if I'm late to work? What if I get fired? What if I can't pay my truck? What if I can't pay any of my bills? And so on and so on and so on and so on. If that sounds like you, then stick around because on this video, I'm going to show you a simple meditation that's going to help you with your overthinking. If this is your first time meeting me, hello and welcome. I am Leonardo Torres, and I have been meditating for well over 15 years now. And I had been overthinking and worrying about nothing for many years before that, about 21, 22 years. There are a couple of little techniques that I learned that made a big difference in my thinking, and I'm going to share a couple of those things with you today. Don't let that word meditation throw you off. I'm not about to ask you to sit in a lotus position quietly in a room somewhere and just om or say some kind of mantra. That's not what meditation is about. I'm going to show you how to fit meditation into your already busy schedule and help change the quality of your thinking. And I hope that it changes your life like it changed mine. This is the first video in our Conquering the Mind series. So if you're ready to begin, let's do this thing. All right, so this is meditation for overthinkers. And the reason why I wanted to focus on overthinkers is because this is close to home. This used to be me. And here are a couple of things that I want to point out just before we get into the meditation part of it. I want to first point out the problems with overthinking. One of the main things that we run into when it comes to overthinking is mental clutter, or what I like to call mental claustrophobia. You feel like you're thinking too many things all at the same time and you go absolutely nowhere. Your mind is just cluttered with thoughts and ideas and beliefs and fears and all kinds of things you don't want. Another thing is that you can't see beyond your viewpoint. You feel like you're boxed in by your thinking. The third and common thing is indecision or confusion. There's so many things to think about. There's so many choices to make that you end up being indecisive about things. You end up being confused about things. And the last one, and probably the one that gets me the most in trouble, is procrastination and laziness. Procrastination and laziness was a big thing for me. I would procrastinate and hold off to the last second to finish a job for someone. In fact, I've done that in the last few months, and I'm not proud of it. I'm really not proud of it, but it's not as bad as it used to be for sure. Now that we've identified the problems that occur when we overthink, let's look at the benefits of meditation. Meditation is a great way of decluttering your thinking, decluttering your mind, creating that space that you need in order for you to be able to think clearly. It also changes your perspective. It allows you to see things from multiple points of view so that you can better assess the situation and really know what you're in. And naturally, once you're able to assess the situation, you're able to make better decisions because the picture is clear, which naturally leads to creativity and productivity. And I think we can all use some creativity and productivity. Am I right? If you like where this is going already, hit that like button and let's move on. The main things that we're going to focus on today are change of point of view. We're going to use overthinking to our advantage. We're going to eliminate options and identify what action we can take right now to start freeing us from this overthinking disease. All right, so first up, change your point of view. In the valley, you can only see what's in front of you, but in the mountain, you can see it all. Overthinking is much like being in a valley. All you see is what's in front of you. You can't see what's hidden behind those rocks. You can't see the predators that are out to get you. And for most of us, that's what it's like. You feel like the world is out to get you. And so the goal naturally is to find higher ground so we can see what we're getting ourselves into. And I believe meditation can help you with this. You see, we're gifted with this beautiful thing called imagination. And the great thing about imagination is that we can play out any scenario in our minds all the way to the end and see what outcome we're going to come to. The bad thing is that overthinking is misuse of our imagination. We're constantly thinking only about the negative things that are going to happen. And so it's important that we learn to shift our attention, to shift our point of view, and look at different scenarios from different points of views. Because what you see in the valley is not the same thing that you'll see at the top of a mountain. So a great question to ask is, what's another way to look at this situation? Depending on your type of thinking, you could change that to what other levels can I look at this from? What lenses can I look at this through? If you're that type of thinker, what's another story I can tell myself about this situation? That's a good one too. So change it however you want. But if there is a different way that you're looking at this, I'm curious to know how you see things. And so let me know in the comment section down below how you changed it to make it more personal for you. The next thing we want to do is look at overthinking. With meditation, the goal is not to stop your thinking. Thinking just happens. It's impossible to stop thinking. Thinking naturally happens. And so understanding that thinking is just going to happen and you're already overthinking, we're going to use overthinking to our advantage. And so what I want you to do is play out the scenario in as many different ways as you can in a healthy way with the positive outcome that you want. As I said earlier, the mind is really good at playing out scary scenarios, and there's a purpose to that, and we'll get into that in a different video. But your brain is trying to protect you from potential threats. So it plays out horrible situations for you so that you can be ready for that predator. But sometimes that's unhealthy. And so what I'd like you to do here is think of a healthy scenario that you do want to be played out and play it through in your mind all the way to the end. And so the thing that you might ask is, now that I have thought about all the things that could go wrong, what could go right? And this starts to shift your attention towards what could go right. The next section is eliminate options. Confusion happens only when you have too many options to choose from. That's the only time that your mind becomes confused, because a mind that's sure of itself, a mind that's clear on its intentions, a mind that is clear on its goals and where it's going, when it knows which direction to go in, is not a confused mind. Think about it this way. You're planning a trip to, say, your local amusement park. In my case, it'd be Disneyland. When I set Disneyland on my GPS, there's no confusion about which freeways I should take, whether I should go north or south. It's clear. I know where I'm going. I have the directions, and all I need to do is just follow them. And so with this exercise, you want to eliminate the things that aren't going to get you where you want to go. There are going to be negative thoughts that are going to get you where you want, and there are negative thoughts that are not going to get you where you want. So eliminate the ones that don't serve you and keep the ones that do. And the same thing with the positive thoughts. Get rid of the positive thoughts that aren't going to get you where you're going and keep only the positive thoughts that will get you to your destination. But if you have too many options, you will be confused and you won't have any sense of direction, which means you'll go nowhere. And then indecision and laziness comes into play. And so a great question to ask here is, which of these options gives me the outcome that I want? And then the final step is take action now. The Buddha said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You have to take action. It's imperative that you take action. If you don't want to be in the same place come 2022, you have to take some kind of action now. And your first action isn't going to be 1,000-mile step. It's going to be one single step. So ask yourself this very simple question: what action can I take today to get me closer to the outcome that I want? And then just do that one little thing. It could be reading a book, studying something, researching something, watching a video, meeting someone, answering an email, sending a text. I don't know what it is for you. You know what it is for you. All you need to do is just make that one first step. And then the next 1,000 steps become easier because you've gotten the ball rolling. Your body is now moving in that direction and you're getting closer and closer to that step, which takes patience, but that's another video altogether. And you're probably sitting there thinking, Leo, I thought you were going to talk to us about meditation. And you know what? I did. Meditation is not about sitting in a quiet room and thinking of nothing. It doesn't start that way. The journey to a quiet mind begins with that one little step. It's drawing your attention to what's happening now, is allowing those thoughts to move past you, but changing your point of view, going up to that mountain and watching your thoughts come by and pass by and not touching a single thought. This is the beginning of your meditation process. It's not self-realization or enlightenment. It's about you using your mind and not your mind using you. There's still a lot to talk about when it comes to meditation, but this is just a small introduction for overthinkers. On the next video, we're going to talk about some very simple actions that you can take to begin that meditation process and hopefully help you escape from that mental hell that we live on a day-to-day basis. If you got any value from this video, please hit that like button. It'll help me out with the algorithm. And for more content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Peace.